welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we're going to introduce you to a different sort of fundraiser, one that benefits people who are hungry. It's called Empty Bowls, which I think is a great connection. My guests are Luci Cochran from the History Museum and Linda Haugh, a amateur potter. Welcome.
Thanks for having us. Thank you for inviting us.
It's, okay, so empty bowl sounds a little dismal. Like, I am going to go and you're not going to fill my bowl. That's not really what happens. But it does, it places the emphasis squarely on people who need food, people whose basic hunger needs are not being met. Tell us how this idea came about.
It actually was an idea of an artist, a teacher in Michigan in 1990. He came up with this great idea. And the name is really to remind you that what you're doing is helping fill those bowls. Mm-hmm. So it's actually a way to bring art together into the community, to celebrate the artist, but also really bring art to bear on an issue that every community has. And so for us, it's all about feeding the hungry, but bringing this great community of artists together with everyone else, having a wonderful time, because it is a fun event.
It is a fun event. And you don't go hungry, but you also don't pig out. Like, right. I feel really uncomfortable sometimes at benefits for hunger if I'm eating plates and plates of food. Mm-hmm. And so it isn't that. There's not the excess that there could be when you're spending money for a nice event. And the other thing I like is that, and I can say this, I hope, because my sister is a potter, a lot of artists don't make a lot of money. Right. And they cannot financially donate cash a lot of times. But what they have, of course, is their gift. And so they're giving something very personal.
And that's what makes everyone so passionate about this, is because you have these artists freely giving their art. And then those people that come to this event, you get a free piece of art through your ticket. And then, of course, you get also another wonderful gift, and that is that we have restaurants that donate food. They donate soups, once again, alluding to the fact that you're filling a bowl.
And I thought I was going to take my beautiful pottery bowl and go around and get it filled up with soup. Like the first time I went, I was very confused about how this works.
No, we give it to you separately, so you have a nice clean bowl. And basically the idea is everyone is donating. This is such a grassroots effort. And that's another wonderful thing about this. There's no paid staff. This is all volunteer driven. You have the wonderful artists. You also have these wonderful volunteers that are helping plan the event. Actually, Linda is our logistics chair as well. So you've got all these people that have pitched in, and so there are hardly any hard costs. And really, all of the ticket price goes directly to feeding the hungry. We've been doing this for 5 years. In the first year, we gave away approximately $8,000, $7,000 to $8,000. Last year, we gave money away to 6 different organizations, and we gave away $16,000. Once again, all to feed hungry people in our community. And in Virginia, one statistic I remember is Hampton Roads has the greatest food insecurity of any other region in Virginia. And so there's a really dramatic need here. And you've got all these people coming together to have fun, but also to fill this need. So it's amazing.
Okay, well, let's talk, well, first of all, let's go ahead and give the date of the event. We'll recap at the end and give it again. It has been at the History Museum for a few years, but you're moving it to a bigger location this year.
We are. It's very exciting. Some wonderful challenges for Linda as the logistics chair, but it's the old post office, which everyone knows at the end.
They don't, though. No, literally, we said that in my office, and everybody's like, yeah, it hadn't been a post office in a long time.
Wow, that's true. It's just such an iconic building.
It is an iconic building downtown.
It was built in 1914.
But newer residents will know it, and younger folks will know it as the M2 Motion Pictures headquarters.
And Metro Productions and all of their different branches of that company are really being incredibly generous, and they're letting us use the space. They've been one of our longest sponsors. They're a wonderful sponsor. Another local company called SKF, they are actually one of our sponsors. And then, of course, the museum continues to sponsor because we just believe so strongly in this. But Metro is opening up the studio, so you'll get to see behind the scenes a little and where they film all the television shows and other things they do. And then you have this wonderful opportunity. We have a silent auction, We have, of course.
Yeah, I think I bought additional stuff. It's
oh,
hard
yes.
to resist.
Well, and then at a certain point in the night, you get to buy more bowls in addition to your free bowl you get. Of course, there's a cash bar. You have the wonderful food from the local restaurants. We'll have entertainment. But all of this takes place at the old post office on March 18th.
Okay.
And it starts at 5:30 and it ends at 9. So it's a wonderful, fast-paced event, and we usually sell out, so we want to encourage everyone to buy early, because literally, I believe every year we've done this except one, and we sold out the night of, but every year we've sold out. So there is a track record of not being able to come if you wait too long. So.
That's right. And it's a good thing. And then you guys make sure you can raise the maximum amount, donate the maximum amount to organizations that benefit people. That's the other part of the reason there's no overhead is you're not trying to run an organization to feed people. You're working through those established, funded, agencies to increase their ability to reach folks.
Right, with the money going directly to the recipients, to feeding the hungry, rather than, as you say,
and
overhead.
local programs, as well. You're hitting the Virginia Peninsula and the people here.
Yeah, we try to keep our overhead very, very low. I mean, I think even the publicity, the brochures and posters are donated. So much of what we're able to accomplish is done by the goodness of other people making donations.
It's wonderful. Well, let's start with the potters, because I think they are kind of the one of the main donations. They give a lot of goods. How many bowls do you think you'll have this year?
We're hoping to have about 600 bowls. Admission is limited to 300 people. So because of the size of the facility and what the organization feels that we can manage, the logistics of it, right? Yeah. So 300 people, 600 bowls. The process of collecting the bowls, we have a chairperson who is responsible for that, Millie Arthur, who not only solicits bowls from professional potters, but amateur potters in the community as well. She also is responsible for organizing what is called a bowl roll, which is a one weekend where we meet at a studio. Usually it is at the Peninsula Fine Arts Center. They donate their space for us to meet there one day, 2 days, to make as many bowls as we can in the shortest amount of time possible. Recognizing that that's only the first step of a multi-step process in making bowls.
Well, let's look at some of the bowls you've brought with you and tell us a little bit about whether it's the artist or the style. There's quite an array. I mean, very, very different works of art.
Thank you. Because we do solicit donations. We've had in the past donations from children who were taking pottery classes. Not that this was made by a child, this was made by me. But this was made by me at the very beginning of my art in pottery. And you can see that I intended to make a lovely bowl on the wheel, but at the last minute the clay had its own idea.
And that happens.
It does happen, and it's a part of the adventure of being a potter.
Yeah, I mean, my sister probably more than about half of what she makes, and she doesn't know it always until the end, until it comes out of the kiln, is what she calls seconds. So, it's not always quite perfect.
Yeah, I think that one's more than second. It's probably 10.
Beginning effort.
It's with experience and time, your bowl gets a little bit more
That is beautiful. Look at those colors.
Appropriate. This is about the size of the bowls. Some are a little bit larger, some are smaller, that we use to the recipients, to give to the recipients. Sometimes the bowl will be signed by the person who has made it, sometimes not, depending on the individual and depending on who finishes it. Sometimes it's the same person who start to finish makes the bowl. Sometimes one person will make the bowl. Someone
turning
else,
and one person's glazing or whatever. Okay.
We're very fortunate in our community to also have some professional potters who give us their bowls. And
that's gorgeous.
This is from one of the potters out of the Gloucester area who's been doing pottery for quite a few years. And she's been very generous in giving us, and they're not her seconds.
No, that's beautiful.
Her all of the bowls that I've shown you so far are bowls that are made on the potter's wheel, which I think many people know what that is. It's a device, a turntable that spins, and you and the clay develop a relationship with each other. Sometimes it's a healthy one, sometimes not so much. There are other ways of making pottery. One is called hand building, where you take a slab of clay and you then fold it or mold it into the shape that you want. And this is an example of an artist who has taken basically a circle of clay and has draped it over a rectangle and then molded it into the shape that they thought was appropriate.
That's really beautiful.
It really is.
So that's a lot of fun. So we've got, some other ones here. This one has a little bit of a unique shape. You can see that, and different coloring inside, a couple of variations. And I'll show you this one because I think this is porcelain, probably. Maybe it's not, but it's
close to
lighter in color with some variations inside and out. So you can get an idea. There are so many bowls, and as you say, there's almost twice as many bowls as there are people. So everybody gets the one that comes with their ticket. You turn in your little ticket and get one, and then after that, it becomes part of the fundraiser. And do you auction them, or is it a certain amount, or does it just vary?
It's a certain amount. You can usually buy 3 bowls for a certain set amount, so you can actually pick and choose and match. But for me, one thing I want to say about these bowls is I've always felt the artists were the heart of what we were doing. Because if you think about it, this is something that came, as you said so well, came from them. It's their personal gift. It's a very personal gift from them. And it also is such a wonderful way to think about what we're trying to accomplish. So for me, it's the bowl and the artists that I really want to celebrate today, because they really are taking something that they give personally to address a real problem in our community.
Well, and I'm also going to put in a plug for the restaurants because I'm a little bit of a foodie and I love to eat. And, I've had some amazing she crab soup and some homemade tomato bisque. And, there's a variety of different soups there. And, you get a little more than a taste and you get to sample all of them. And it's lovely.
Then we also have them in the gift shop at the Hampton History Museum. And then there's a wonderful shop in Port Warwick called Starving Artist, where you can paint your own porcelain, and it's a wonderful craft place. And it's in Port Warwick, and it's called Starving Artist, and they're selling tickets as well.
Okay, that sounds good. I always get mine at the History Museum. While you're there, you can go in, or you can buy some things at the gift shop. Always a great place to visit.
Thank you for that.
Okay, is there anything I have not asked you all about that you wanted to pitch about this event?
I can't think of anything, just can't stress enough that what's so great about this is that the community comes together to address a problem. There's a problem that is in every community, and this is really everyone from every aspect of the community coming together saying, we're going to help fix this, or we're going to at least help try to make a difference. And so whether you're buying a ticket, whether you're donating a bowl, whether you're donating a silent auction, we have a wonderful silent auction.
Yes,
you could donate something like that. Or you could just donate if you can't come to the event on March 18th. It's really just a wonderful way to address an issue that we all worry about and have fun doing it at the same time.
It also, and I'll say too, it's not a foofy fundraiser where you feel like you have to get dressed up, and it's not a lot of effort. People are there because they care about the problem and because they enjoy the art, and it's a much more casual, mingling kind of event. It's truly enjoyable.
And the tickets we keep very low. They're only $30.
Which, that's kind of amazing, actually. And it's because everything is donated.
That's exactly right. Because we want everyone to be able to come.
And if possible, that leaves you some extra money to bid at the silent auction or buy some additional bowls.
And you get a glass of wine or two.
Yeah, that too. I might have done that from time to time. Well, thank you very much, ladies. All right, Luci, one more time, recap the date.
March 18th. At the Metro 2 Production Studios, which is the old post office in downtown Hampton on Queen Street.
But we're going to get tickets in advance because it sells out.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to go by the History Museum and pick them up at the gift shop because that's easy to remember.
Sounds great to me.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. I hope you will consider this event. It is a lovely evening for a good cause, and you can also enjoy yourself as well. Thanks for watching.